fuck. As a pill poppin', he don't ever mean nothing. I was dirty boy, I was friend with the plug. For the white next week, serve him up.
Hey, how's it going, guys? So I'm going to be doing a little bit of a tutorial for beginners. This is rounds to watch out for. So I'm going to be explaining everything in detail because this is a video for beginners. Basically, on screen I'll put the different rounds that are either hard or just notable. So like, round 20 is our first round. It's not necessarily hard, but it's notable because it's the first round with black balloons. Black balloons cannot be popped by explosions. So if you only have bomb towers out, what's the hotkey for bomb towers? E. If you only have bomb towers, then, you know, you'll struggle with round 20. So you're not going to want to only get bomb towers, you know, for that reason. So the next round that you want to watch out for is 22. It's the first white balloons. White balloons are immune to ice. So, you know, if you only have ice towers, which I don't know why you would only have ice towers, but yeah, you will need to get something other than ice towers. So the next round you're going to want to watch out for is round 24. This is the round with the first camo balloon. It's a camo green, and we also have some blues that go by too. Very easy round as long as you have something with camo. Now obviously if you're playing on like easy mode and you have 200 lives, you're really not going to need to worry about this round because it's only 3 lives. But if you're on unpoppable, then you're going to need camo. Gonna need camo detection. For instance, ninjas come with camo detection, so that's an easy one. So the next round you're going to want to watch out for is the very next round, 25. It is the first round with purples. Purples cannot be popped by magic towers. As you can see, they're immune to wizard monkeys, for instance. So you're going to want to get something with like darts or glue, corrosive glue, or, you know, nothing with like magic bolts like the wizard monkey or laser blast, super monkey, etc. So the next round you're going to want to watch out for is the first leads. We got round 28 leads. So there is a fair amount of things you can do. Snipers can't hit leads until you get full metal jacket, which shoots through 4 layers and can pop lead and frozen balloons. Yeah, snipers are a cheap way to deal with round 28. And our next round that is notable is 30. We got more leads. So, yeah. So 28 had 6 leads. 30 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 leads. They are spaced farther apart though, so I'd say it's about the same difficulty as 28. It's around 33. So if you remember, 24 was the first camo. You don't have any camos until 33. So you got 9 levels to prepare, which this takes 67 lives. So if you leaked the first camo because you didn't want to bother getting camo detection, then you also leak this one, then that's 70 lives missing. So you won't have to do that again until 36, which is kind of notable, but it should be an easy map. An easy round, sorry. It's a rush of pinks as well as you got 3 rushes of, I wouldn't call it a rush because they're greens, but if we play it again, you got a rush of pinks, you got 10 green regrow camos, you know, 10 regrow camos again, yeah, you know. So the next round to watch out for is round 40, MOAB. There's a lot of ways to deal with the MOAB. What I like to do with MOABs, I like fighter planes. If we replay it, fighter plane can destroy a MOAB very easily, but obviously it doesn't do much of anything against the ceramics, so you're going to need another tower to deal with the ceramics, but yeah, I like this guy. So the next notable rounds are 45 and 48. we got Camo purples. So you're going to need a Camo detection tower that's non-magic in order to beat these. There's not a ton of them in round 45, so I mean, you could let them leak if you're on easy mode, for instance, but I mean, it might be good. You're probably going to want to get, you know, something that can hit them, because just 3 rounds later, 48, there's going to be more Camo purples. Yeah, got a few pinks going by, but yeah, more Camo purples. And this time it's a lot more, so you're really going to need them for this round. So 49 is notable because of the sheer number of balloons. Right about here, ceramics come out. A lot of ceramics. It can mess you up if you're not prepared, so I'd watch out for that. So if you remember, 40 was the MOAB round. We're all the way up to around 50, and we're finally getting more MOABs. A MOAB appears at the start of the round and also at the end. And we got some fortified leads. Not too hard to deal with. Random red balloons. I don't know why there's red balloons on this level, but whatever. But yeah, if you only got a little bit of MOAB popping power to get past 40, you're probably going to want a little more to get past 50, so that's why it's pretty notable, I guess. So the next round is 51. It's really not a hard round, but if you don't have much Camo detection, then it can screw you up. Just a lot of ceramic camos. Not too bad to deal with, though. So the next round is going to be 55. There's 3 rushes of 10 ceramics, as you'll see. They're decently tightly packed. And then the 4th one is a lot tighter packed, and it's 15 ceramics. That round can mess you up. Plus also a MOAB, but I mean, meh. So a good way to deal with that, and also 63, which I will be talking about, is, I mean, glue hose, but obviously if you can't afford glue hose, glue splatter is good enough. This will, I mean, it actually completely soaks them all. Slows them down so your towers can, you know, easily take care of them. I mean, it's just a good way. It's good support. So the next notable round is 59, Camo leads. So you're going to need something that can pop leads, and also see Camo, of course. So there's 50 of them tightly packed right here. It's really not bad if you have something. Very cheap way to deal with those guys is a wall of fire with Camo detection. If we play it again, I mean, it won't do enough to the ceramics, but it'll obviously pop all of the Camo leads. So that's a very cheap way to deal with this round and not have to worry about the Camo leads. So the very next round, 60, first BFB, I mean, just notable, not exactly hard. So the next round is 62. If you have a ton of magic towers, this round can mess you up because there's 250 purples. It's a lot of purples. So yeah, you're gonna need, you know, if you're in a magic monkeys only run, you're probably gonna want a couple, you know, Bloon Jitsu. I think 1 Bloon Jitsu is enough, but yeah, you're gonna want, you know, something to deal with those. So the next round, hardest so far, 63. It's 3 rushes of tightly packed ceramics. 40 ceramics in this tiny spot. I mean, that's a lot. And there's 3 of them, of course. And also leads, but I mean, you should be able to easily take care of those. Especially if you went wall of fire to take care of 59. That'll easily take care of all the leads just by itself. So 64 through 74, really nothing too bad. But 75 is decently hard because, I mean, there's obviously, I think 3 reinforced MOABs. Yeah, 3 reinforced MOABs. 1 BFB, and then 2 sets of 3 stacked on top of each other BFBs. That definitely can mess you up. Let me see if I can pop one of them. So, I mean, that's 12 MOABs stacked on top of each other right there. I mean, it can mess you up if you're not ready for it. Alright, 76, very quick one. It can catch you off guard. So right after 75, the stacked BFB round, all of a sudden 60 ceramics, pretty tightly packed. And if you didn't notice, they're also regrow. So yeah, that can screw you up, but usually you should be fine, because you should be preparing for 78. The most notable part is the very start and the very end. A rush of 75 ceramics. Probably the hardest round, at least up until 80, or at least more like up until 90, honestly. But yeah, so, you know, rainbows will appear. So there's the BFB. So then once purples start coming, it's about 4 or 5 seconds until the ceramics right there. But these ones are camo. So that can also mess you up if you're not ready for that. You'll think, oh, I got through the first rush, I'll be fine. But then the second one's camo, so if you don't have a ton of camo detection, then that can screw you up. So then next we have round 80. Once again, notable, not exactly hard. It's just our first ZOMG. Then we travel all the way till 90. This is our first set of DDTs. We got 3 DDTs right here. These guys are pretty awful to deal with. They're just fast. That's really the hardest part about them. They're pretty weak. Like, they don't have a bunch of health. Easy way to deal with them is if you have an Archmage. Archmage should by itself be able to take care of it easily. I mean, okay, well, maybe not. Okay, well, yeah, it did take care of it. Barely. But yeah, I like using Archmage on those guys. Seems to do pretty well, at least combined with other towers too. So next we got 93. It's our second set of DDTs. This time it's 6 of them, plus we got some fortified BFBs as well. We got 6 of them. They're more tightly packed as well. I think this is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's 10. 10, you know, reinforced BFBs. So those guys can suck. So next up is 94. Just because it's beefy, we have 25 tightly stacked BFBs, as well as 6 well, I mean, it's kind of tightly stacked ZOMGs. So 25 BFBs, 6 ZOMGs. Pretty tough, honestly. So up next we got 95. So this round has a ton of camo purples and camo leads to start off with, but that's not really the hard part per se. The hard part is the 30 DDTs that come out. 30 DDTs. So yeah, and a bunch of reinforced MOABs as well, but I mean, by now you should be able to deal with reinforced MOABs very easily. So those guys aren't really a problem, it's just the DDTs. So next up we got 96. Very beefy round. 2 sets of 20 reinforced MOABs. So we got those reinforced MOABs. 30. Well, 3 sets of 10, but they are really close. So it's kind of just one set, really, of 30 BFBs. And then we also got 6 ZOMGs as well. So, I mean, pretty damn beefy round. Next up is 97. Really, this shouldn't give you much trouble. If you die on this round, then you were definitely going to die in 98 anyway, so... But just 2 reinforced ZOMGs. So 98, the beefiest round, probably the hardest round in my opinion. 30 tightly packed reinforced BFBs and 8 tightly packed ZOMGs. Extremely beefy. So next up we got 99. So we got 71 MOABs, really not a problem, but we got 9 reinforced DDTs. Those guys can screw you up. I don't know what's harder, 95 or 99, but they can screw you up. And then last round we got just the bad. I mean, if you beat 98, you should be able to beat the bad. in most cases. Maybe not every case, but yeah, I mean, the badge just has a lot of health. I mean, let's just put an Archmage over here, see how he does against it. I mean, an Archmage is almost 50k on hard mode, and maybe half health to it. Maybe half health. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, it's a really beefy MOAB, and if we can actually pop it, let's see, 1 second. Alright, so we're about to pop it. 3 DDTs pretty damn tightly packed, and 2 ZOMGs are inside of it. So, yeah. Alright, well, that's the end of the video. If I helped you, then cool. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like the video, and have a great day. Bye.
That's the end?